Title, Radio Talk. Director, Brandon Wade. AD, Jose Guerrera Rentera. Date, 9/27/18. Runtime, 5:59. Take one.
Hey, welcome to Media Talk. I'm Rick Manning. Today we'll be featuring two spotlights on two medium formats. We have radio and photography. My first guest is Mr. Son Edom. He is a full-time board operator. Am I saying that, or a full-time board operator engineer? What's better?
Engineers, all the same.
It's all the same mumble jumbo? Okay. And as well, he's also a full-time faculty at the Lancer Radio program here in Pasadena City College. My second guest is Michael Watkins. He's a professional photographer, and he's the photo editor for the Pasadena Courier, right? And as well, you do own your own photography company, right?
Yes.
Too Vivid Photography.
Yep.
All right. I was like, what's the sign for that? BVP? I don't know, to market it. How are you guys doing today?
Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. It's an interesting thing because it is two different elements of media that we're going to be talking about. But my first question that I wanted to ask both of you, where do you guys see things going, particularly in radio, with the internet? What changes are you seeing, are teaching students now here on campus?
That's a good question because people always think that radio might die out.
Right.
But in actuality, there will always be a medium of audio. The delivery method may change, so the big transistor radio that people would go boomboxing down the road with might go away. But now we listen on our phones, smartphone, iPhones, etc. You've got Spotify and other things. So there will always be a mode of audio, but the medium of the delivery method would change. So I don't see audio going away, just how we hear it might change.
Okay, and in photography, do you see any changes as radio's been having their change?
With photography, in the field specifically, like photojournalism, I do see a lot of changes. There's a big issue we faced with the Courier recently was going completely digital, which are a lot of news agencies are tending to go that way, like newspapers and stuff. And it is a huge bummer because people do like to pick up the newspaper and read, but it's what we have to face is, people take in information through their cell phones and internet and stuff like that, and there's no longer a need for print newspapers.
Right.
But as a photographer, one of the biggest issues that we're all facing is having to know how to also do video at the same time.
Okay.
So it's not just still photography. Like if you want to make a living, you need to know how to do video as well.
So both medias are going to, obviously it's all digital. That's where we're going to. What have you guys applied to adapt to that? You being a professor here on campus, have you changed anything, like how you go with teaching the students?
Things seem to be moving towards digital journalism. And so the need for video, the need for writing, the need for audio editing, and editing in general, whether it's video or audio, is necessary. So when you look at that, our element or our component is the audio. So we focus on the audio, make sure that we can produce the best audio possible. So if you're in a news agency, you can deliver the best news. We don't really focus on the video component yet because there's other entities that can do that. But we just make sure that we have the best audio quality out there, and that's what we focus on. And I think by doing that, it helps our students get to the positions that they need because they have a foundation in audio.
Okay. And for yourself, Michael?
Yeah, we've had to find ourselves actually learning how to do audio editing as well too. And so strictly as a photojournalist or a journalist in general, you need to know how to do photos, videos, audio editing if need be. But the audio editing is always the hardest part to teach. It's so hard. We have a couple of students that know how to do it very well.
Right.
But we're also not dealing with, an enclosed room and stuff like that. We're dealing with audio that we pick up at protests or something like that. Then we have to go back and edit all the sound, and it's just, it's very hard to teach, especially if you're in a photojournalism and journalism class.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going in there expecting to learn how to audio edit.
Right.
And then it gets thrown at you and everyone's like, wait a
Why-
second.
Why are we learning Pro Tools, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny because I feel with these mediums, like I always felt like radio and like newspapers and stuff. It felt like very personal when I was growing up in my generation, and now I feel like there is a gap separating that, where it just feels more because it's digitized. I don't feel the same connection with like I did before because it's just all internet, online, just constant. Do you guys maybe feel that the same way? Do you feel it's consistent? Like, do you have like a personal attachment to?
No, I think it's convenience.
Okay.
You know, I think people are, in today's day and age with technology, they're convenient to have online. I think the older generation, like my parents' age and those type of people, still like the hands-on, read the newspaper. But it's almost like people are becoming backpack journalists. You have to be all-encompassing. You've got your camera, you've got your audio, and you've got your computer to write on. You can upload it all into your computer and send it off to your publisher or your radio station or whatever, all from your backpack.
So it's all
digital
instant,
journalism.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's all,
That's
yeah,
what-
everything's
okay.
instantaneous. And that was the one thing that we always had the advantage for in radio was we can go instant while newspapers had to wait till the next day to print.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us on Media Talk. I'm your host, Rick Manning.